Alright, time for winners finals. We've got Void versus Helio.
Yeah, we saw both these players in winners finals. Obviously, that's how it works.
What a concept.
Hélio has a nice transition. Unfortunately, will be cut short because because of that garbage in column 1. Pretty deadly to the chain's potential.
It was a pretty cool chain from Void, as always. Oh, nice counter though.
Hélio. But Void was ready with a counter setup.
A lot of trading chains here.
This is just not recoverable from that. Especially
that was a really cool first match. Wow.
Yeah, good one. We got.
These are gonna be some really good games.
With a counter setup. Oh, Void's playing sandwich here. Hélio's going with good old GTR.
Good old GTR.
Tried and true, trusty old, good old chain form. Ooh. Rough harassment here. Very diggable though. Gonna need to. Void is not giving them time to do. Oh! I did not see that could. Oh, but the yellow's cut there.
Oh.
I don't know if
that was a lot.
No, yeah, there was.
That was a lot of emotions.
Sure was.
Like ooh, oh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it's just like it just looked really diggable, and then just like something just came out of nowhere, and suddenly the chain wasn't diggable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we got 2 GTRs.
We're just building really fast.
Ooh, we got a 2. Oh! Oh, I thought that was a power. I thought that would have just offset that. Void is gonna have to dig this. I'm not sure how this is gonna work. Oh, nice. Okay. Didn't see that coming, but that was a good dig. Unfortunately, that counter setup was one too far to the left. At least it looks like a counter setup when I took a glance at it. But fun fact, placing pieces in column 3 is ever so slightly faster than any other column.
The more you know.
You need to place pieces really fast. Just spam them in column 3. Obviously, if you can afford that. We got a power 3, but Hélio sees right through it and has a really nice tail to come back with.
Wow.
And Void is just not ready. Spent just too much on that harassment for Hélio to notice. Another GTR. Quite clean too. I was thinking that transition from Void would have been hard to figure out. Didn't seem like Hélio.
Pretty hefty harassment. Oh, but it worked.
Yeah. You can really just turn your chain into a harassment if you make a mistake or you just need to attack.
That's another thing I need to practice is figuring out how to turn mistakes into harassments.
That and knowing how to turn your normal chain into a harassment.
And literally everything. I just need to practice everything.
Don't we all? We got a poke from Void into a strong attack from Hélio. Void sees it though and sets off their whole chain.
I didn't even see that chain.
Oh, that was a big power chain right there. Was able to outchain a 7. Was that a 7? I think that was. It's hard to pay attention to every single detail here.
More GTR from those players.
Soon. Last game we saw. Wait, no, never mind. Ooh, okay. Just makes it a little harder to dig though. So we have a harassment here. Void. Interesting play there. I guess it. Okay, that was actually a good play to make. I didn't notice that the purple's cut there, and they actually did that. They got an extension out of that. This is, oh wow, we got a nice
clear.
power 9 from power, all clear 9 from Void. And Hélio is just not ready for a chain of that caliber.
Seeing like high chain all clears is so satisfying.
Yeah, just nice clean board. Oh, here we got Sullen GTR. I'm interested in learning this form, but have never really gotten to it.
Wait, what's it called?
Sullen GTR from Void.
Oh. Never heard of that before.
I was curious about it one day, and I was answered.
Almost an all clear.
Unfortunately, Hélio is just completely covered up. That one garbage, combined with their GTR being 2 Puyos tall. Just a tough dig to make out of. Alright, we got Void with a sandwich, Hélio with another GTR. I just realized we're at match point. Void has been killing it this game. So far we've got a little harassment. Ooh, but Void. That was a good play. Void was wondering whether or not they could just take the little hit or set off their chain, which they chose to set off their chain because they saw another harassment coming their way. And Hélio is going to make it a little close, but just not quite enough. And especially after Void's nice follow-up, that's going to be game for Void. Oh wait, right, this is winners finals. This goes to 9.
Oh!
I was like, wait a second. Whoopsie. Gonna have to get used to that. That's a nice extension from Void. Even though there's only 2 yellows in that GTR, they choose to set off their chain. Odd choice. Hélio seems like they're doing a lot better in terms of their chain. And just because your extension's good, that doesn't mean that chain's gonna just outchain.
Aww.
Void gets punished by the rush.
It's an interesting thing.
You know, could have just been a mistake, miscalculation. Maybe Void thought that Hélio's chain was just not ready. Or it was just too weak. We got a nice 3 chain with a bit of power to it. Hélio's gonna recover from that. Hélio's chain here is not that big though. But Void is also just not ready. Might have a chance at a comeback, depends on if they try, and they don't. Hélio takes another round, ensuring that this is not just a sweep. Void goes for something. I do not know what this chain form is. Looks like it possibly could work both directions. Building very tall on those last 2 columns. Pulls it into a powerful 3-chain harassment. Ooh, but Hélio with a much more powerful 3-chain harassment. And that takes out Void. Hélio making this a lot closer than it seemed to have been. This is why Winners Finals is first to 9. Void's gonna have a rough time with that extension. Unless they're chained. Yeah, though. That's just. Yeah, Void put themselves in a really bad. But that is a great.
This is a really good tail.
That's gonna be enough to take out Hélio. I was really thinking
Whoa.
Void would lose that round just because they had no extension, but they really made up for that with their tail.
Gotta believe.
Shout out to that tail. That was a really good one. Oh, and that actually brings us to actual match point. We got a this doesn't get a green. That is so rough.
Oh,
That would have been the easiest punish ever, but luck was not on Void's side. Hélio again. Going GTR. Void with a bit. Again, with the chain forms I've just never seen. Oh wait, no. It's Soul and GTR on the right. Unfortunately,
oh, I see.
Well, that's a rough dig. That is a difficult dig. Just need too much reds needed for that. Takes out Hélio and takes the match.
That's game.
Well played from both players. Those are some big constant chains with some good harassments mixed in there.
Yep.